Hi, and welcome to the first in the sheet pattern development classes. This particular class is about development number 1 in the parallel line development. Now, if you look at the development on the sheet, and I'll just pull it onto screen, you can see that we have a rectangular section. We have 2.5 inches in height on the left hand side, 3.5 inches in height on the right hand side, and it's a 2 inch by 1 inch rectangular section. So how will we go about drawing it? Well, like normal, we make sure the grid is up, which is F7. We can see the grid is actually on. We press our F9 key. That will make sure our snap is on, so just toggle it until it states snap on, and then we do Z space A, then enter, and you'll see we'll resize the grid. The next thing is drawing the actual shape itself. Well, there is no mention on what angle the frustum is at, so we'll draw with what we know, then close the thing up to project the angle. So first things first, we go for a polyline. So we click on polyline, come down on the screen, and now we're just going to click on the screen and pull it in the downward direction. Now we need to go down 2.5, but because we got the snap on, we could just drop it right there, where the polar actually tells you it's 2.5 in the downward direction. Or we could just point generally in the direction and enter on the keyboard 2.5, then enter, and it will put our line on. Now we're going to go 2 inches across. You can see that's the 2 inch point right there. And then I'm going to go 3.5 inches up. Once we've drawn the first 3 known lengths, simply hit C, then enter, and it would close the thing off. Now generally on drawings we would do a secondary view, viewing from the top predominantly when we're looking at the radial line, or in some occasions like on this one, from the side, so that we can see there's no secondary angle coming down on the slope. But I think we can manage with just this for now. So the next thing we're going to do, and please feel free to change the colors if you want to do your grid line colors on a different color, is to project the lines that we know about, which is this point here. That is the lower section point, and that's the upper section point, across the screen far enough where you can do the pattern. So I'm just going to hit polyline, come to the top point, make sure your snap is on. You can see I've got an end point on, and just pull that thing across the screen. We repeat this for the other 2 detailed points. So that's going to be our lower level section, and then this one's going to be our baseline. So how do we do this? Well, if I bring this back on the screen just for a second, imagine then, and I'm just going to check to see which way I've drawn it on the bottom one. Yep. Imagine we've got these 3 lines. We know we got the baseline on there, and the 2 coming across from the side view there are going to give us the lower section and the upper section of the drawing. The next thing we need to do is to put a starting point for the pattern. So to do that, all we need is to do a polyline. It can be from this point or from another point, it doesn't really matter. So a polyline is coming on, and I'm going to draw it just down there. You notice I stay clear of the line because otherwise it's going to start a line from there. So I'm just putting a line down there, and then I need to offset it. Now on this particular drawing, you can see that our side lengths, if I just get that a little bit smaller, are 1 inch on the small section, so 1 inch across this face, and then 2 inches followed by 1 inch followed by 2 inches. So just going to bring that back down and take that out the way. So my first offset, and that's lower right on the modify, right? So lower right on the modify, I go down and I'm going to enter 1, then enter. Then I'll bring it on screen, bring my cursor on screen, click it, I then move it to the right and click it again. I now need to change it to 2. So I'm just going to enter 2, then enter. Left click again, put it out to the side. I do a right click, enter, right click, repeat offset. I don't have to go up to the button every time. Now I'm going to do it 1 again, because that's how we're going to wrap this thing around or fold it out. And now I do the last 2. So I'm just going to enter, repeat offset, this time 2, grab that last line and move it across. Now if you can imagine rolling that thing out, or this particular shape, as a 3D object, imagine we're starting with this edge flat on the screen. Then we'd roll it over, so we'd be on the side, then the back, then the other side. So going from this back corner, I'm going to come across here, go up to this point, across, then back down the other side, and then close the whole shape off. So to develop this shape, basically I'm just going to make a red line. So I just picked red, polyline. That's going to be my start point. I'm going to move it to the right. Then I'm going straight up the side, as you can see it on the side view, to there, across the top, down the other side, and as I said, I'm just going to bring it across to the extent of the pattern, and once you get to there, you can just do C and close, and that is your completed pattern. Now, not all fold out shapes are as simple as this one. Some of them, as I said, could have a double slanted area on there, which means that one of these sides will be a little bit lower or a little bit higher than the other one. But providing you have the minimum amount of views that you would require, we should be able to develop these things out. So as far as folded out patterns, this is the one we're doing for these exercises. Hope you enjoyed doing it, and I'll see you in lesson 2.